and just want to thank you for joining me. My name is Jeff Snow. I'm the Distributor Development and Field Service Manager, as you can see. Many of you know me from my years in customer service, and I've been out there to see quite a few of you. And what I'm going to talk about today is basically what am I trying to do is my job here. You know, the whole point is to work with you folks as distributors and help you all grow so we can all grow together as companies, as partners. So as I've been traveling with you, I've been trying to kind of figure out what is needed to do that, and talking to people and asking questions and kind of come up with some little programs or initiatives to work on to, you know, to basically just grow. You know, we are a public company. That means we are part of Fortive. As a public company, stockholders are investing in Fortive. They want to see return on investment. They want to see the corporation grow. We're a big part of that. Of course, we need to grow as well. And so that basically works its way out into the market. You guys are our vehicles to help us grow, and that's what we want to do. So we're gonna talk about that as we go through this discussion here today. Okay. So basically, point by point, we're going to talk about what I've been spending my time doing, and a lot of it has been training, more and more training, visiting people, the methods at which we've been doing that training. Then we'll move into some of the programs we've got going, a new sample loaner program that we're kicking off, the Try and Buy program, which has actually been around for a while, but I don't think it's utilized as well as it could be, and then the initiative to do competitive replacements. So that's what we're going to talk about right here. So let's start off with the training. Many of you I met last year. I came to your facility. I stood up and I did some training, and I've been doing that almost every week since then. So I come out and I visit. We talk about the product. We talk about the applications. We put up some PowerPoint. We pass around some samples. We ask a ton of questions, which I love, have some really good, healthy discussions. And how do I reach more people? You know, how can we get that information to everyone who can use it? How do we make it interesting and engaging and something that you want to do? So this is what we're going to get into. So first of all, we're doing this, right? Every other Friday, we're putting out a WebEx. We're all trying to keep it interesting and lively and something that you guys want to attend. The idea is that you sit around together in your lunchroom or your break room or wherever you go to lunch, pull up a computer or a big screen, and basically go through this and kind of watch what we're offering. Of course, we've got 3 time zones we're covering across the U.S., and so in picking the ideal time is not the easiest thing unless we are doing it live. So we picked 1 o'clock, hoping we could pick up the most people here. We are recording it though, so if you can't do it live, so right now, the number of you that are on here are all watching it live, and I appreciate that. And the big benefit, of course, to watching it live is that there is a coupon code at the end that you only get if you're on live. So that's kind of the incentive for that, but we do record them. You can watch them later. So this is a big way we're trying to get information out. It's not just me. It's all the product managers. It's other people that have information to share. So really encourage you to spread the word on this, and we're going to continue to use this and listen for feedback on how to continue to make it better. All right. Every one of these WebExes we're doing is recorded. So unless one of us forgets to click the record button, the WebExes are recording. If we do that, we get to re-record it. All right. So it takes some processing time to turn them into a video that we can post to the website, but within about a week, these are backed up on the website and available to be watched by any of you at any time. So I would encourage you to do that. As I visit people and I talk about this, I encourage everyone to join this as much as possible. And I do get a lot of people saying, well, you know, if it was at a different time, or if it was earlier in the morning, or if it was a different day, then we'd be able to do it. I wish I could find a way to meet everyone's needs on this. It just doesn't seem to be, that easy, depending on what part of the country I'm in. I get different advice as to the best way to do this. So what we're doing is we are recording them, and so they're out there so you can watch them, whenever it suits you. And I think that's probably going to be the best way. All right, so just don't miss out on that. Maybe set aside some time every now and then if you're kind of behind on them, or if your coworkers are behind on them, encourage them to join. But we're putting a lot into these, and I think this is a really a good vehicle to get information out there to you and get to know the people who are supporting the product. All right, so what I'm looking at on the screen here, this is when we log into the distributor side. distributor section. So this is only for distributors, right? And users aren't going to see these videos. You're going to have all your tools, and then right on there are going to be the different videos under the blog section is where they are. Okay, and that's usually what pops up when you first log in. So the other place we're putting videos is out there by the product. So we're doing very specific videos for you guys as distributors. We're doing these WebExes. We are also doing videos and putting them out on the product on how to use the product, what some of the advantages of the product are, what are some of the pain points to look for, where this product will help solve those, and even how to use the product. So this example on the screen is the ILM4. I think this is the product we have the most videos for. Bob Kazik has been cranking them out. A lot of them on and why the ILM4 is an advantage against competitive sensors, how to use it, and even how, when the programming structure changed, how much easier it is to use. And what he did was a bunch of short videos that are quick to watch, so you don't have to watch a big, long series to get that information. So we'll see more and more of these coming out there. These are out on the public side of the website, so our customers can look at them, your customers can look at them, and go see a little bit more about the product. Right, so in addition to that, we do have a YouTube channel, not quite the hugest YouTube channel in the world, with 61 subscribers, but we do have some decent following on some of the tech presentations. So these videos that are, for public consumption are also going to be out there on the YouTube channel. You won't find the distributor-only videos out there. Those aren't really intended for public consumption. Obviously, what I'm doing now is not something we would put out on YouTube, but it is something we'll record for people to look at later. So take a peek at the YouTube. I'd encourage you to subscribe to it. That way when we put something up, you'll see it. In addition to the videos that you've seen around the product, we've also got some tech videos up there. If we go to a trade show somewhere, people will shoot some video and we'll put it up there and kind of show that. Really kind of happy about the tech videos we put out on the recorders. Over 1,000 views on some of those, and there's thoughts about continuing those and looking for the highest impact videos to make. So I encourage you to just check that out and follow us so you can see what's being put out there. So again, another method just to get that detailed information out there. I don't know about you, but I'm a very visual learner, so I really like to see things to understand them, and that's what these are really for. All right, so there's your digital training, right? Out there on the YouTube, consume it whenever you can use it. Join the WebExes. We can get to a lot of people this way. But, hey, what happens to the networking? What about the face-to-face? What about getting to know the people that we're working with here? So, yes, we are doing site training and visits and a couple different things. So let's talk about those next. So I have been racking up the frequent flyer miles. Here's the map of where our distributors are. All right, so we are all over the country, obviously. You folks are, and I am doing my best to come and see you all. I am prioritizing or starting with the platinum. So these are the biggest distributors, and then from there the gold and the silver and the bronze. And so basically what I'm doing is lining up trips, coming out, doing some training, and then visiting everyone else in the area while I'm in town. So if you're in an area that's fairly densely populated, I've probably already been to your office. If you're a little more remote, maybe I haven't been there yet, but I should get there at some point. So this is what I'm doing. And now you still have your local RSMs. These folks are still where they are. They're still responsible for keeping you guys growing. They're still working with you on projects and working with you to win against competitors with customers. And they're not going anywhere, and they have no less, no change in their focus on you than they had before, just because I'm doing this. This is really me supporting them and doing some of maybe the more, should we say, the tactical stuff, coming in and doing training on the website tools, using, doing the technical product training, the application stuff, maybe visiting some customers with you and doing some of the demos and just some of the stuff that doesn't necessarily have a project directly connected to it or an order directly connected to it, more of an investment in you folks to help you understand how to work with us and our products and be familiar and comfortable with it is really what I'm spending my time doing. If we have an opportunity to go look at together, great, I'm in. But a lot of it is coming and just talking to you, putting PowerPoints up, telling stories to help you remember what the products are good for, and getting to know you so that we can have a regular dialogue going back and forth. There's some of you I hear from a couple times a week now, and it's great. Since I've met you, you're sending me competitive crossovers, and you're letting me know what's going on out there, and we're just staying in touch, and that's kind of the goal of this, this flying all over the place I'm doing now every week to visit all you guys. So that's what's happening there. In addition to doing the training, if you have a sales meeting where you're bringing your entire sales team or sales and engineering teams together, I am extending an invitation to come in and speak to that group. The sales meetings are great because I get a large group of people, and I pretty much about the only time you can get all of the salespeople in the room at the same time. The one trick is usually sales meeting agendas are jam-packed, and sometimes I don't get as much time. So generally, I'm spending 2 to 3 hours with a group as we go through the product and the applications and the discussions and the Q&A that come after. And a lot of times a sales meeting can't give 2 or 3 hours to an individual supplier or vendor. So if you can, that's awesome. That would be a great opportunity. But I also like to stick around, get to know the people. We'll go out and tear up the town a little bit and just build up that relationship, right? All right, so we're also doing the formal training here. So if we have something set up a little bit more like a formal meeting with a presentation and hands-on demos, we'll do that. This is actually me at a sales workshop a year or two ago. We've got some hands-on demos up there. We've got our PowerPoint, and I'm just telling my stories, which I love to do, and hopefully they add some value to all this. All right. Now, so this is me coming to you. So sales workshops, training, riding with you, spending a lot of time with outside salespeople, inside salespeople, project engineers. A lot of times when I come to visit you, I'll ask for a meeting with the director of sales or principal of the company, and we'll just kind of talk about how things are going. But also I want to meet with with everyone that is interacting with our products. So many of you are on the phone or here because you're interacting with our product. So if you hear I'm coming, reach out, set up a meeting. Sometimes the training we do for outside salespeople is totally different than the training that an inside salesperson wants. So I am completely good with doing multiple sessions. We can have a conversation with the engineering team. We can have a conversation with the outside salespeople, and a totally different conversation with the inside salespeople. That sometimes works the best. That way, everyone's getting what they need to out of a meeting. So my next point is we are inviting you folks to come see us at the factory. So, while I will tell a lot of stories and I have no problem filling in the time if you put me up in front of you and give me a chance to talk, if we're going to do 2 days worth of training, you probably want to hear from some of the other experts, right? So we, as we have been doing the last few years, are doing a sales workshop near to the factory in upstate New York. So the factory is in Fultonville. If any of you have been there, there's not a whole lot in Fultonville. We've been using a Holiday Inn up the road in Johnstown for our meetings, which allows us to commute to the factory for our plant tour. We thought we'd do something a little bit different this year, and we're actually going to go to a brand new casino that was just built within the last year, right down on the Mohawk River in the town of Schenectady. I was down there just checking it out a few weeks ago. It looks really nice. It's right on the river. So we're going to have it there. So they've got some conference rooms and hotel rooms there, and then the evening there's the casino right across the way with some restaurants in it. I think we'll be able to do everything right on site. We'll do the training just like we have been doing it at the hotel. We're going to have the product managers there. We'll have some application engineering folks in the room. We're going to do hands-on demos. We're going to have stations where our goal is actually to really teach you how to demonstrate the product to your customer, right, by using it hands-on yourself. So we're trying to get away from us handling the product and you watching and really get it so you're handling the product and you're demonstrating it to each other and you're getting comfortable with it so that, if you had a sample in your hands, you could take it to your customers and demonstrate it to them. So if you haven't signed up yet, I'd really encourage you to look at this. There is an invitation that has come out. It's come out, I think, a couple times. You should have received it. If you haven't, shoot me an email. I'll send it back to you. Really encourage you to bring some people to this class. So it's really targeted at the outside salespeople and the project engineers. I know we have a lot of folks that on the phone that are doing inside sales as well. I'll be honest with you, it's not necessarily targeted to the folks doing inside sales. It's not part number pricing, web tools. It's more applications, comparing to the competitors. What are the features that we can point out to the customer, how to demonstrate the product. So really for the people that are using the product and applying the product a little bit, not so much just kind of processing orders for or maybe specifying. So that sort of thing we can do when I come see you. but just to kind of give you a feel what we're focusing on here. And so this is a bit of an experiment for us, having it over at the casino. I think it'll be good. Looks neat to me. We wanted to try something a little bit different. And it's still only 30 minutes from the plant, so we still are doing a plant tour. And by being close to the factory, we can get all of our experts over there. All right, so please consider that. If you didn't see the invitation, shoot me an email, ask for it, because it's out there, and I want people to know about it. So October 23rd, 24th, we'll start up first thing on the 23rd, go all day, have dinner together that evening, probably right on the casino grounds, and then, wrap things up the next day. So we will do 2 full days, and it's all food and beverage. There's no life sciences section to this one, all right? So just want to let you know about that and encourage you to attend. All right, so what else we got going on other than training, all right? So we've got, we come out and we talk to people and we show them the product, and people quite often say, hey, can I get one of those? I'm like, well, you can buy one. We've got a great sample program where you can buy samples for 50% off. And I'm like, yeah, don't really have a budget for that. I was kind of hoping you could loan me yours. So, listening to what people are saying here. So what we're working on is basically getting some good shippable, durable cases where these sensors are going to survive, and you don't have to box them up and package them and all that. And we'll put a sensor in the case. We'll put some documentation with it, and we'll basically this case should end up being well traveled with stickers from all over the place as we ship it around. So this is my program, so if you would like a sample to walk around with and show customers how it works, reach out to me directly. Generally, what I'm really promoting is the newer products. So this is the L3, the D3, the ITM51. You may have joined some WebExes about the refractometer. I'm not sure if we'll have one of those for samples quite yet, especially a working model. We'll see about that. But the new products are really the things we want to be able to put in your hands and have you demonstrate to the customers. And coming to the sales workshop, that's exactly what we're going to show you, is how to kind of use this kit. All right. I'm going to ask for a PO just so that I get them back. There is one demo that I loaned to someone earlier in the year, and I haven't really pestered them to track it down yet, so I really need to do that. So I don't want to have to be pestering people to track these demos down, so I'm going to ask for a PO so that you kind of remember on your own to return them to me. I'm thinking 3 weeks is a fair amount of time for these so that I can give everybody a chance to have one. I don't have an unlimited supply of demos. I don't have an unlimited budget to purchase these demos. So, we're gonna kind of try to spread them out and make the most impact out of them. So we're going to ask you to keep them for 3 weeks or so and then return them to us. And then I'll just set up a little tickler file to send out an invoice after a month or so I don't see them back. But so again, this is something new. Really want to encourage you to consider this. When you have it, please use it. The expectation is that you guys are out there and you're pulling this out every day and showing it to the customers you're seeing and looking for places to use them. All right. So if it rides around in our trunk, then that doesn't do us any good. So all right. So that's that program. Again, please reach out directly to me if you're interested in this. This is not something customer service is going to administer, or even your local RSM. This is something that I'm doing, and I'll be the one stuffing these boxes and shipping them to you. So please reach out directly to me for this one. All right, and then we've got a try and buy program. So this is really for the end users. Right, so maybe you've demoed it to them, you've shown it to them, you say, no, this should work. Everything I understand is this is going to take care of your issue, or this is going to help you save water, or reduce losses, or reduce BOD charges with regards to the ITM51 you see here on the screen. And customers, well, it sounds good, but I'm just not sure if it's really going to work for me, and I'm not sure I want to spend the money if I'm not sure it's going to work. That's exactly what this program is for. We've already convinced the customer that it's a good value, that it should do the job, that what they're attempting to accomplish is something that's important to them, and maybe they're not sure about the technology. What is this infrared? What is turbidity? How exactly does this work? I've not seen this before. Or, man, that doesn't look like any other sensor I've ever seen. Are you sure it really works? Right? Sometimes people think turbidity has to be 2 separate lenses and the product flows through it. So this is a turbidity sensor that's a near-infrared backscatter device. So maybe they're just not sure and they want to see it work themselves. That's what we want to use this program for. So basically we're saying the customer is almost convinced that this is what they want. They just kind of want that added assurance that it's going to work. And if that's the case, then reach out to us, explain that to us, say, look, I do want to buy this, but the customer's just got some doubts and they want to try it before they buy it. That's what the program is for. So we are going to ask for the PO. We are going to invoice for it, but there'll be a condition that, this was under a try and buy program, and if the customer doesn't believe it's doing what we told them it would do, then we can take it back. The terms on that, we'll talk about case by case. I'm going to start off putting out there 30 days. I don't want these things sitting out there for years and then have a customer say, yeah, it never worked, you got to return it. If for some reason we need to extend it to 60, we can talk about it, but for now, let's call this a 30-day trial. All right, and then we'll do case by case if we need to extend. So you can contact me for a situation like this, or certainly your RSM can handle this program for sure. This is something that we do out of the factory. It is going to be a new product. This is not a loaner that's been bounced around or shown off or handled. So this will be a brand new product that they can plan on keeping. And, your RSM or I will put in what we call a sample request number, which is basically a kind of a formal way to just track this. And then we'll look for your PO and we'll ship it to your customer for you, and then we'll follow up on it after that 30 days or so goes by, and basically ensure that everything is working the way it should. Okay. So I did have a question that come up. What does a sample mean? It's SAM is just short for sample. So we use a database where we have things like PERs, price exception requests, and RMAs, return merchandise authorization, and SAM which is just short for sample. So that's what a SAM number is. It just lets us know when a number comes in and it's got an SAM in front of it that it's a sample. All right. So the try and buy program uses our sample database. So good question there. All right. And the other thing I wanted to remind you of, I talked about this when we did the RMA program, was our RMA competitive replacement. So if I've been to your office or I've talked to you, you've certainly heard me encourage you to look for competitive products and replace them. This is how we're going to gain back market share that our competitors have slowly been working away at there. So Anderson-Hauser is a huge one. We see them a lot. A lot of times I'll visit a distributor and there'll be an Anderson-Hauser level or pressure transmitter sitting somewhere in a box because a customer asked them to replace it. I don't expect you to turn that away. What I hope you do is you will take that opportunity and ask me to help you cross it over to an Anderson, and then we'll go back to them and we'll quote them that competitive replacement. If they have a competitive product and we don't need to convince them to use ours, they say, hey, I want to replace this with Anderson, even better. I want to make sure that everyone is encouraged to do that, knows it's a good deal. And our policy, if you hadn't seen it, is 35% discount on a competitive replacement. Now, that's 35% to you instead of your standard discount. And we've always said that you need to issue an RMA from the RMA database and send it in, all right? In order to make this a little bit easier program to use and encourage people to use it more often and to basically grow, I am, basically on a kind of an exception basis doing these no RMA competitive replacements. But what that means is you've sent me a photo of the competitive product. I've seen it myself. We've had a conversation about it. You've sent me a very specific part number, and we've been involved in helping you cross it over. And what I will do is give you a PER number that will allow you to take that 35% competitive pricing discount without getting an RMA and sending the other one in. So as long as I believe we're getting an order that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise, if we didn't grab that competitive product, then that's what we want. That means the program's working, and I want to encourage people to use it. So we'll do that. So that's, really focusing on the Anderson-Hauser level and pressure transmitters, the Anderson-Hauser flow meters, the Pyramation RTDs, the Rosemont pressure transmitters, Rosemont flow meters. There's some IFM effectors out there that we'll come across that sometimes we'll cross over. So those are the things that we tend to run into that, we generally can cross them over and pretty easily and give you a part number for it. And then we want to, make that worth your while, so we'll do that additional discount. All right, so I did have a little question about what a sample means. Let's see if we had any other questions that came in here. All right, so if you do have any questions, put them in the Q&A form, and I will look for those. I do have a question here, what other items are available for the trade-in? What other types of things can we cross over? Basically, any competitive product that we have an existing technology for, we welcome the opportunity to cross that over. If you're not quite sure if it's something we have, send the part number to me anyway. If you can send me a photo of it or possibly a photo of it in its application, that helps me figure out what it is and what it's doing. There are technologies out there that we don't have a direct crossover for, and sometimes there's technologies that I have to ask you some more questions about. But that I'm game for that. So send me whatever you find. I guess I'll give you one guideline. Generally, these are going to be sanitary or hygienic process connection sensors. These are going to be on the sanitary processing lines. Sometimes I'll get some photos or some part numbers that are more industrial, and a lot of times I don't have anything to cross over into that industrial. I'm willing to take a shot at it, but I'll just kind of give you a heads up that for the most part our products are all sanitary. There's a question about will the PowerPoint be available after the webinar. What's going to be available after the webinar, probably within about a week, is going to be the recorded WebEx, and it'll be posted to that Distributor blog. Okay. If you want an actual PDF of the WebEx sent to you directly, just email me and I'll save it as a PDF file and I'll send it over to you. I'm not sure if it carries the same message without the voice, but I'm certainly willing to do that. All right. Anything else? So if you have any questions, just put them in the Q&A section on the WebEx dialog box, and we'll see what we can answer here. As far as that travel schedule, I have a couple things lined up. September is pretty busy. October starts to open up. November, December, all wide open. And so I basically try to book my travel about 2 weeks out. And so if you look at this and you said, hey, you haven't been here or you were here, but we've got some new people, we'd like you to come back, then again, send me an email directly and we'll get you on the calendar and we'll set up a trip around it. Okay. All right. I think that's what we've got for now. We're going to stop the recording, and for those of you that are live,